I didn't flinch when she walked into the church, black silk dress, diamond ring catching the light. Her hand clung to his arm like a trophy on display. Our mother's coffin lay just a few feet away, yet my sister smirked as though she were arriving at a fashion show. Her voice sliced through the silence. "Poor you," she whispered, leaning close enough for only me to hear. "Still alone at 38. I got the man, the money, and the mansion." She tilted her ring so it gleamed in my face. I smiled, slowly, deliberately. "Have you met my husband yet?" I asked. When I called him over, her face went pale. Because the man walking toward us wasn't a stranger. He was the one man she never thought she'd see again. The one secret she buried 6 years ago. The man who ruined her little game before it even began. 6 years ago, I was 29 and engaged to Daniel. He wasn't just wealthy, he was magnetic, promising me a life built on ambition and fire. My future was written, I thought, and my sister Claire even toasted to it at our engagement dinner. But she'd always had a hunger in her eyes, one I mistook for admiration. I thought she envied my ring, my dress, my life. I didn't realize she wanted the man attached to it. It started small. She lingered too long on his arm at parties. She accidentally texted him late at night. I told myself I was imagining it. Sisters don't cross those lines. Until the night I came home to find her car parked outside his apartment. She said it was innocent. He swore it was a mistake. But a month later, he broke off our engagement. And 3 weeks after that, she was wearing my ring. The world expected me to shatter. Instead, I studied them. I watched how she craved status, how every move she made revolved around flashing her new life in my face. And I saw the cracks in him. Daniel wasn't faithful even to her. My sister thought she won the game, but she was standing on rotten ground. I didn't confront, I didn't scream, I went quiet. And in silence, I sharpened my revenge. I didn't want him back. I didn't even want her to lose him. I wanted her to choke on the life she thought she stole. So I waited. I built myself. While she flaunted, I studied. I invested. I worked. I learned every detail about the world she thought she'd conquered. Money, property, people, connections. I let her believe she was untouchable. That was the sweetest part. Step 1, I became everything she thought I couldn't. She had the man and the mansion, but I built empires. I partnered with investors, bought properties, flipped businesses. I played the long game, quiet and relentless. Step 2, I studied her husband. Daniel had weaknesses, gambling debts, secret affairs, shady deals. I didn't expose him. I didn't need to. I let him rot in her hands while I positioned myself higher. Step 3, I chose my own husband. Not for wealth, not for power, though he had both. I chose him because he knew exactly what Claire had done, and he had his own reasons for despising her. I didn't marry for revenge, but when fate offered me a man whose very existence would unravel her smug smile, I accepted. So here we were, our mother's body barely cold, and Claire still couldn't resist turning grief into theater. Her laugh was sharp. "You must feel pathetic, sister. All those years and still nothing to show." She touched Daniel's chest like she was planting a flag. I let her words hang, heavy and arrogant. Then, with perfect calm, I said, "Have you met my husband yet?" When James stepped forward, her smile collapsed. Because James wasn't just my husband, he was Daniel's former business partner. The one Daniel betrayed. The one who held the evidence that could dismantle Daniel's fortune, his reputation, his freedom. Claire knew the name. She knew the power behind it. And she knew, instantly, that her mansion stood on borrowed time. Her diamond ring suddenly looked like glass. I didn't need to say more. The silence between us said everything. Claire's face drained as James shook Daniel's hand with a grip too tight, too cold, a warning wrapped in politeness. I stood between them, not broken, not alone, but stronger than she ever imagined. That day wasn't about revenge alone. It was about revelation. She thought betrayal gave her the upper hand. She thought she stole my future. But all she really did was chain herself to a sinking man. I walked out of that funeral not as the sister she pitied, but as the woman who smiled while her world burned from the inside. And I didn't even have to lift a match. 6 years ago, she stole my fiancé. At our mother's funeral, I stole her certainty. Justice doesn't always scream. Sometimes it whispers. Sometimes it waits. And sometimes it walks into the room wearing a wedding band your enemy never saw coming. I let her have the man. I took everything else.